When you hear the word Nintendo, you instantly picture pure family friendly fun. You think of innocent characters like Mario skipping through colorful worlds and saving the princess. But what if I told you that the origins of the world's most famous video game company are incredibly dark? Nintendo was not started by software engineers. It was started over a century ago as playing card company that heavily centered to the Japanese mafia. Before they ever touched a video game, the executives of Nintendo dragged the company to the absolute edge of bankruptcy by trying to run taxi services, sell instant rice, and even operate seedy love hotels where customers paid by the hour. This is the shocking, untold, true story of how Nintendo stumbled out of the criminal underworld and accidentally saved the global video game industry. Our story starts way back in 1889. A man named Fusajiro Yamauchi started a small business making beautifully handcrafted Hanafuda playing cards. While innocent people did buy them, his biggest customers quickly became the Yakuza, the brutal Japanese mafia. The Yakuza ran illegal gambling parlors, and because players consistently tried to cheat by making the cards, the Yakuza needed to buy completely fresh new deck of cards for every single game. This meant endless repeat business for Nintendo, a name which many believe loosely translates to leave luck to heaven. The company passed down through the family, but tragedy struck the third generation. The man next in line to run the company completely abandoned his young family and ran away, leaving his 5 years old son Hiroshi Yamauchi completely alone. When Hiroshi grew up, he took absolute control of Nintendo with a ruthless iron grip. Hiroshi was deeply ambitious, but he made some terrible mistakes. In 1963, he realized playing cards wouldn't make him a billionaire, so he wildly expanded into completely unrelated businesses. Nintendo started a taxi company, launched a brand of instant rice, and there were even heavy rumors that Hiroshi managed love hotels where couples paid for rooms by the hour. None of these worked, and Hiroshi's wild gambles nearly bankrupted Nintendo's entirely. The company was saved by pure accident. One day, Hiroshi was walking through his factory and spotted a maintenance engineer named Gunpei Yoki playing with a weird plastic extended hand toy he had built in his free time. Instead of firing him, Hiroshi told him to turn this into a product. The toy was a massive hit. Later, while riding a bullet train, Gunpei saw a bored businessman playing with an electric calculator, which gave him the genius idea to create pocket-sized electronic game. Nintendo launched the Game and Watch, and it pulled the company completely out of debt. Nintendo then tried to make huge arcade machines called Scope to sell in America, but it was a total disaster. The machines gathered dust in the warehouse, and Nintendo couldn't even afford to pay their rent. Refusing to give up, Hiroshi tasked a young artist named Shigeru with reprogramming the failed machines into a new game. Shigeru created Donkey Kong. The game was an instant phenomenon, earning an incredible $280 million. The hero of the game was originally just called Jumpman. But one day, their extremely angry American landlord came storming into their warehouse, screaming about the unpaid rent. The staff realized that when the landlord yelled, he jumped up and down just like their video game character. The landlord's name was Mario Sigale. As a joke, they renamed their hero to Mario to mock him, accidentally creating the most iconic video game character in history. Nintendo conquered the world with the NES console, but they also created their own worst enemy. In 1991, Nintendo partnered with Sony to create a new CD-ROM console. Sony proudly announced this massive joint venture at the Consumer Electronics Show. But in a brutal, humiliating betrayal, Nintendo executives took the stage the very next morning and publicly announced they were ditching Sony and partnering with their rival Philips instead. Furious, Sony's executives decided to get revenge by using the technology they had built to launch their own console, the PlayStation. The PlayStation devastated Nintendo's sales for years. But Nintendo learned to stop competing on raw graphics and instead focused on making fun, innovative games for everyone. They launched the Nintendo Wii, which became a global smash hit, solidifying their legacy. From making illegal gambling cards for the mafia to nearly going bankrupt running love hotels, Nintendo's survival is one of the most insane, unpredictable success stories in corporate history.